Hi, welcome to Gabie's Knit Goodies. Today I have the rose cardigan that I've modified, as well as some crochet, an almost finished sweater, and some socks, and another almost finished project. So yeah, I'm getting back into crochet a little bit. Alright, so I'm Gabie. This is Gabie's Knit Goodies. I'm Gabie's Knit Goodies on Instagram as well as on Etsy. I have hand-dyed yarn, and my yarn has GKG yarn as an Instagram handle as well. So, welcome. I have my puppy dogs around me, but I think they're just going to chill and not make too much noise. I might have spoken too soon. I guess the first thing would be what I'm wearing. And I'll have to put a picture of it up so you can see the whole thing. But this may look familiar. This is the Rose Cardigan by Andrea Mallory. However, I have seamed it, mattress stitched it up the front. I knit this quite some time ago, like a few years ago. Maybe only 2. I don't know. I wore it a bunch when I first knit it, and for quite some time after that. And then I hadn't been knitting it very much, or hadn't been wearing it very much. And I hate for my hand knits to go unworn. And then I was watching, let's see, Espace Tricot, however you say their store name, up in Canada. They have a podcast that they put out every now and again. And one of the girls on there had taken her rose cardigan and mattress stitched it up the front. And when I looked at it at first, like, it didn't even look like I didn't really recognize it. I thought that the cables looked similar, but it looked like a whole new sweater. So it's kind of given new life to an old knit. So it's kind of cool. One thing I like about it in this format as a pullover as opposed to a cardigan is that you can really see and appreciate the cables. Whereas when I would wear it as just an open cardigan, the cables would hang here and they just weren't very visible. So this way it totally shows off those pretty cables. So I think it worked quite well. I was very excited when I heard that concept to just seam it up the front and you can wear it as a pullover. And it definitely works. And it's good for spring because it's a fingering weight garment and it's very loose, and having the open neck, it's cooler. The birds are definitely chirping outside, and I hope that doesn't cause a sound issue here. All right, so that's my first refinished project, I suppose. And how about we dip our toe into some crochet? I learned how to crochet when I was like 8 years old from my grandmother, and I crocheted a lot of things back then for many, many years. I got into knitting when I was in college. Someone taught me how to knit. And I knit a whole bunch of scarves that year for Christmas presents. And I would pick up crochet every now and again, but not a whole lot. And then I really got into knitting and have focused on that for the last few years. But I have been offered to teach at our homeschool co-op a knitting and crochet class. And so I decided to pick back up my crochet hook and just kind of test the waters in crochet and reteach myself some stuff. And it's been really fun. So this is one of the items that I've made, and I didn't even know it was a thing. This is an apple cozy. He has a little loop here because I'm supposed to put a button, but I haven't done the button yet. But I think he looks really cute. I sewed on felt eyes and a felt beak, and I like him. He's from the book Amigurumi on the Go. Amigurumi? Not sure if I'm saying that right. This is the book, and it is by Anna Paula Rimoli. And they have a lot of cute things in here that are crochet for kids. Not necessarily for kids to crochet, because some of them are kind of complicated, but just cute ideas. And I didn't even know putting a little cozy on an apple was a thing, but I posted it on Instagram, and somebody else told me that they had had apple cozies for years. So here is a bunch of them. Here are a bunch of them. A little bird, a little koala, and a bunny. They're just so cute. My daughter's like, you have to make one of these. Now I did accidentally make it with slightly larger crochet hook. So he's a little bit big compared to what he was supposed to be, but I had some really large apples, so it worked out all right. But I thought he turned out cute. This was just some yarn I had left over, so that's what I used. And so he's a little bird, he's green, and the yarn is like a sort of self-striping. It's a gradient yarn. But he turned out really cute, and I used every last little bit of yarn that I had left. Let's see. Give me my buddy for the podcast. So yeah, if you are interested in knitting some stuff for kids, there's lots of cute stuff in this book. Or crocheting some stuff for kids, not knitting. Excuse me. Okay, I should have brought it in. I have a little purse that we're going to do in the crochet class, and it's made out of just squares and then seamed together. I haven't put the strap on anything yet, but once I get that done, maybe I'll put a picture up here. But I think it would make a really good starter project, because you can do a square that's like just single crochet back and forth, and then we can teach double crochet and do a little square that's just double crochet back and forth, and then we could do something different on the third square, and then you seam them together so you can kind of have a sampler purse, and it looks really cute. So that's another crochet project I've been doing for the class in preparations. And let's see, we'll continue with the class preparations, but shifting gears to knitting. So this is going to be like a beginner's knit and crochet class for the whole year. We can do a high school class and a middle school class. Possibly some adults in there in the high school class if there's room. So something that will be simple and teach how to knit and purl, do like a ribbing. However, you could do this and just have really chunky yarn and just do knit. It would curl in on itself a bit, but I think with the big chunky yarn it might work. Anyways, this is a heavy worsted weight, kind of an Aran weight yarn. It is the Fiber Company in a nice gray color. I used this for my Goldwing sweater, and it's a woolen spun yarn. It's not a plied yarn, it only has one ply, I guess you could say, and it is very soft. It's got like baby alpaca and other luxury fibers in there. And so all you do is you make a very long rectangle, the right size to go around your head, and then the trick is in the seaming. So this is going to make one of those twisted headbands. So you can match them up and then offset them by like 50% here. You can see that. And then you just fold one over the other. Like that. And then I will seam this just straight across here. Seam that like a little sandwich all together. And then when you're done, you flip it over and you have your cute little crossy part there that will be in the front. So it'll be a super simple project, but you end up with a very cute headband / ear warmer. So I'm excited about that project because it's quicker than a hat. And I feel like with younger students, I think that they're gonna want kind of some quick wins. So I think this might be really nice. I'm also thinking fingerless mittens. I'd like to teach them how to do a hat with fairly chunky yarn. Maybe teach them how to make a pom-pom. Yeah, all kinds of good stuff. I have some other crochet projects as well. So we have the purse, might do the apple cozy, whatever. But I also have some very cute, I'm not sure how complicated it is yet. I want to make one of these little puppies. Aren't they adorable? I just bought some eyeballs so that I could make them. So I guess it's Ami Dogs, Seriously Cute Crochet by Mitsuki Hoshi. So they were so cute, little huskies in the back. It definitely makes me want to crochet. I picked up a number of books from the library. There's a ton of little dogs in here. And of course the size of your dog will be determined by your yarn and your hook size. But they're just too cute. I want to make them. And these I know we won't get to in my class, but these are larger crochet dogs. That one's a real dog in the middle. It's Edward's Menagerie Dogs 50 Canine Crochet Patterns by Carrie Lord, it says. But these dogs are a little bit bigger and very much intentionally are designed to look like the real live doggy counterparts. Some very cute ones in there. So I don't know if I'm going to make any of these or not, because it'll definitely take a little bit more time. And it definitely won't be a good one for the class. But both of my daughters want one out of that. And then I found this, which is really cute. It's a Literary Yarns Crochet Projects Inspired by Classic Books by Cindy Wang. There we go. So if you can see this little girl right here, Anne of Green Gables. I love those books. And this is Sherlock Holmes, and this is the bunny from Alice in Wonderland. This is Julius Caesar, Frankenstein. Can't remember who that is. But they're just so cute. On the back we have Huckleberry Finn. Oh, this is the Great Gatsby. And that's Alice in Wonderland again. So, it's just, they're very cute. I really want to make Anne of Green Gables. And my daughter wants the bunny. But we'll see what I make. I really want to make Anne though. That would be so cute. So, they don't have arms and legs. Well, the bunny does, but the people don't. So I figure maybe they'll be fairly quick and easy. I want to test it out to see if it would be appropriate for my high school girls. Or high school boys too, whoever shows up in my class. Another book that I thought was cute is this knitting, Conscious Crafts Knitting 20 Mindful Makes to Reconnect Head, Heart, and Hands. Has some cute little stuff that's pretty, not too complicated. They have some cute little purses in here too, with just like a simple basket weave design. There we go. Another picture. Isn't that cute? And this is one of the main ones I'll be using for how to knit. And I've done this before. This is by Pom Pom. It's called Knit How. And it is by Pom Pom Press, Megan Fernandez, and Lydia Gluck. Yes, you can see that. But this is a really good book for learning how to knit. It has really good visuals in here. So they do it both in pictures as well as in diagrams. Oh, got images there, and then you'll have diagrams as well. So I think that's very helpful, and there's a number of projects in here as well. So we might make something out of here. And then with just garter stitch squares, you can make lots of cute little animals. I thought this might be some good starter things too, instead of just making like a dishcloth for middle school girls and boys. I thought that taking your rectangle and like adding some felt to it or buttons and making it into a little animal would be more fun. So then you learn seaming and you learn knitting and a little bit of stitching as well with the eyes and stuff. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I've been working on lately. I also have my own personal knitting that I've been doing, as always. This is my second sock of the Ocean Cliffs sock set here. It's just a simple vanilla sock. This is an MCN merino cashmere nylon, and so it has it's a little plumper than my regular fingering weight. It's closer to 400 yards for 100 grams. So I just cast on 60 stitches instead of 64, and I'm using a size US 2 knitting needle, and I did a heel flap and gusset. I decrease my gusset every other row, and they're 9-inch Chalgu circular needles, which I really like. A lot of times I'll do size 1.5 on the cuff and then a size 2 on the main body, but this time I just did the 2 for the whole thing. So, and the only time I have to not use the 9-inch round is the toe. When I do my toe decreases, I go to magic loop with my Hiya sharps, because yeah, when that circumference gets really small, it's hard to use 9-inch circulars. But love my color combo here. I was just saying the other day on Instagram, I think it was, that I would love a sweater out of this color. It would be very interesting to see if I did it with the same dyeing method, like it kind of makes the little stripes here in a sock because of that short circumference, but in a whole sweater it would make some like micro striping, and but it would also pool in different ways, and I'd be curious to see how that turned out. I think it'd be kind of cool, but we'll see when I ever get to that. I have a lot of projects in my queue. But speaking of my queue, my Make 9, I had, let's see, the camisole number 5, which is about done, and I think I'm going to have to lengthen. It's basically done, but it needs to be lengthened, which is sad. So I wore it the other day as like an undergarment, and I'll put a picture up here. And I really liked it. It worked really well under like a button-up shirt, and I think it would work really well in the springtime. But I made it a little bit too short, and I don't want to show off my belly, so I've got to lengthen it just a bit. Okay, but also on my Make 9 is the Easy V sweater by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks, and it is almost done. I dyed the yarn. I've gotten the first sleeve done here, and the body is done, and then the second sleeve, look how close I am. I am on the ribbing of the second sleeve. Very excited about that. And this is a size 3, the third size in the pattern, and it is knit out of 100% merino wool, superwash wool, and let's see, oh, I used 2 contrasting colors instead of the 4 that she has in there, and they're both 100 grams apiece. And I cut it quite close. In fact, I actually shortened by a couple of rows this last little bluish section here. I think I was supposed to have like 2 rows of blue after this with this contrast color, and I did not do it because I was afraid I was going to run out, because I weighed it. I weighed it before I did the first sleeve. I would highly recommend that if you are not sure how much yarn you're going to have left when you're doing something with color work at the end of your sleeves and you're doing it top down. Weigh your yarn before you start that color work on your first sleeve, and then you'll know as you're approaching the end when you weigh it, if you have less than half of that number left of what you had weighted before you started your sleeve, then you wouldn't have enough for the second sleeve. So I was very, very close right here, and so I decided to go ahead and not do the next 2 rows of the blue so that I would make sure I had enough for this sleeve. And this is how much I have left over. This is the blue one. This is, let's see, I made a fingering weight version of this called Freedom in the shop. But this is all I had left, which is, I don't know how many grams, but very, very little. I could have gotten away with 1 more row on each sleeve. And then this is how much I have left of the other contrast color, which I'm surprised I have more of this than this. Actually, maybe I'm not. On the sleeves, you do, see, I have 3 sections of that contrast color and then 2.5 of the blue. But up here, I think I have more blue. Yeah, I have a little bit more blue up top because I have 1, 2, 3, and here it's 1, 2.5 of the other one. And one thing I might have done differently in retrospect is I put, when I was dyeing this yarn, I put some black specks in it. But if I were to dye this over again and remake this entire sweater, I would do everything the same. I love the blue, I love the base color here, but I would put more black in this contrast color just to make it a little more variation from the body color. And I would put, I would make sure that it was all a deeper shade, more like this, rather than the same light color that I have in the main body. Just to have a little more variation color. But I still love it. I love the colors. I think it's a happy sweater. And I'm so excited because it's still quite cool in the mornings here and in the evenings. So I think that I'll be able to wear it a few times before it gets too hot, because I'm totally finishing this today. And then I'm going to cast on one of those adorable puppy dogs. Do you call it casting on when you crochet? I don't know. I need to look up the lingo before I go teach it. So, very exciting. All right. Oh, here's I have a lot left of this last skein. I'm not sure how many skeins I have used. We'll figure that out though. When I have a full finished object video of this, I will tell you all the details about yardage. But I did dye enough to meet her yardage requirements for a size 3. but I just don't remember quite what that is. And I have a lot of that last skein left over, but I needed that skein. And I did it to the dimensions like the length, I did it to what she suggested in the pattern. So, it's nice and slouchy. Yeah, after I dropped off one of my kids today for her music class, I picked up a new crochet hook because my daughters have now gotten back into crochet, or one of them had never been into it but is now into it, and then the other one has gotten back into it, and so I needed a new crochet hook because they stole it. So I got this one from Michael's. This is a Susan Bates aluminum one with a little bit of a handle. My favorite one has a little bit more of an ergonomic and slightly rubberier grip, but I can't remember what brand that is and I can't find it. So that does me no good. And then for the puppy dog, I got some eyes. These are craft eyes with plastic washers. I'm not making this for any child that's under 3. I know that that could be an issue if you have little kids. They might pop off the eyes somehow, but I'm not making it for any tiny children. It's for me and my girls who are 9 years old is my youngest. So anyways, that should work out just fine. And I think it will go well with the little, I think these are supposed to be pug puppies. So these are little brownish eyes, black in the center. And so they'll look very much like that. It's so cute. The only debate now, well, I think there's no debate. I'm gonna make one out of this black yarn. It's a real mess, isn't it? It looks like a real mess anyways. This was in a yarn bin that I had. I was excited because I had some black yarn. But it's kind of it looks like it's been around the block. So hopefully it won't be too much of a nightmare to untangle. But I'm gonna make one just like on the cover there, only I think mine will be a little bit bigger. And then they have like a little lab puppy in here. Let's see if I can find it. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Look at the Maltese. Isn't it adorable? You could totally use like mohair for those ears. It'd be cute. Yeah, here's a little lab. And I have Brown, and we used to have a brown lab who was a wonderful dog. And so I was thinking that this brown would work really well, and then those eyes would also work for it. So if I can go ahead and do it and get it done, I'd like to make both. And then I have a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, and so I'd like to make one of these. But these are gonna take more than one color. So they can take a little more thought and effort. But they're super cute, and I want to make one very similar to this one because my puppy's kind of like that. Only I would make the nose have more brown on it, I guess, because my dog has more brown. Just realized. Uh-oh. I forgot to buy a nose. I need to buy a nose. They had noses there too, and I just didn't buy it. I don't know why. So initially my dog's not gonna have a nose. I'm gonna have to go buy one. Oh well. Alright, so I guess that's all I have for you in terms of knitting and crochet today. Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting, like, preparing to teach for kids. I really hope that they'll be into it. So, wish me luck. If you have any tips on teaching students how to knit, especially in a group. I've done a lot of one-on-one, and I've taught kids in a group before, but, and then I taught adults in a group. But never like, I don't know, in quite as formal of a setting. I haven't taught kids in a group. So if you have any tips, let me know. Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful time knitting and that you're having a good spring, if it's spring wherever you are. Ours is definitely coming in strong, and the sun is shining right now, and a number of the flowers are blooming, and the daffodils are like past their peak in most places around here. We still have some good ones out there though. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to show off some of my yarn, and other than that, I'll see you later. Okay, this is coming to the shop soon. It's called Flowers and Dirt Mini Skein Set. Let's see. And we have, so it's 120 grams total, 6 mini skeins. So we have this one that is like pink, purple, browns, and blues. And then this one that's brown with blue speckles. And then this one is like the Dahlia's colorway that I have. It is like an overall tonal pink with little purple specks and some like brighter pink speckles. And so the idea is that you can do matching socks that are striped or whatever and not guess at the yardage between the two socks, because you'd have the same amount of each color for each sock. So it takes some of the guesswork out of it. And this is a new colorway that I love. This is Flowers and Dirt. And I dyed it, and that's just what popped in my head because it's springtime. And in the spring, yes, you have beautiful flowers, but you also have rain and mud. And planting your flowers, you plant it in the dirt and they emerge from the dirt when the bulbs come up and stuff. So this just made me think of spring. So we have pretty flower colors with the purples and pinks, and then the earthy dirt color, but then also the water, because all the flowers need water. I just like the combination of colors. I think it's really pretty. And I would love an entire garment out of this. I just love it. So I have some of that. Let's see. Still have some rosé sock set. I like pink and brown together, if you can't tell. Sky Before the Rain, which has the charcoal mini, and then this one has white and blue and gray. And then, let's see, set that aside, show you a little bit more. I have this lovely Midnight Party, and I have a few of these in the shop. Super fun colorway, and it stripes like the Ocean Cliffs one. I have daffodils, a nice green, which is kind of a complicated green colorway. Lots of different variations, some speckles in there, and the bright pop of that daffodil yellow color for your mini. Let's see. I have more of the Ocean Cliffs. So this is the sock set I was using, only this is merino nylon, does not have cashmere in it. And it's 463 yards per 100 grams, plus the 92 yard 20 gram skein. And then here is Monet Water Lilies, which is based off of that famous painting by Monet that's beautiful. I have a colorway called Maleficent. It is a deep, like charcoaly color, but then it has like tones of green, like a deep emeraldy green and plummy, purpley plum in there as well. So it's kind of overall it reads as kind of a charcoal, but then it has the complex colors in there too. I love that. And this one's super fun. My daughter wants me to make her something out of it. It's Mermaid Lagoon on a sparkle fingering weight base. So I don't know how much you can see of the sparkles here, but it's got lots of silver sparkle, silver stellina, and it's purple and green and white. And that one's cool. I can't wait to knit something up for her in that. I have summer vibes because the other day when I was dyeing yarn, it was very, very warm. And so I was feeling all of the summer vibes. So I decided to knit a yarn that reflected my mood, I guess. We have Confetti, which has, it's a very fun colorway with reds and blues and greens and yellows. Lots of speckles in there. Same confetti. You can see some more greens on the side. I have Freedom colorway. So this is basically the same colorway as is on the EZV sweater, only this is on a fingering weight yarn as opposed to a worsted weight, which both the yarn fiber as well as the yarn size and the way it's spun all make a difference as to how the dye like absorbs into the yarn. But this is very similar. I made this a little deeper, I think, than the one on my sweater. So I want a little bit richer color on there. This is a little sock yarn set. It has a 50-gram main skein. And this is in casing 2 colorway. And then a 20-gram super fun bright blue. And then like a neon pink here of the 10-gram mini. So you could do your main body and your like toes and cuffs and your heels, or however you want to do it. The one thing, if you go with this, so usually for my main skein I have over 50 grams left over. So this would give you just enough for your socks. And if you ever knit 2 socks like this out of something where you're not sure you're going to have like a whole bunch left over, just weigh your yarn to figure out how much you have and how much you need for each one. And then that'll help you determine what you need. And you could split it that way. So if this is 50 grams, you could, as you're winding it, you could check how much you have left on your skein. And then once it gets to 25 grams, you could cut it and then make it into 2 balls ahead of time. This one is Strawberry Lemonade, which is another summery, warm weather vibe sock set. And I have the Dahlias, which is another spring flower one for me. Pink and purple, and just very, very pretty. I like it. Kind of goes with my sweater. All right. That's about all I have to share with you at the moment. If you're interested in my yarn, check out my Etsy shop. I'm Gabie's Knit Goodies on there. And hit me up on Instagram or Ravelry. Oh, and join the knit along. Maybe I'll insert this in earlier when I go to talk about my sweater. Join the GKG Favorite Things Knit Along. I would like to get some more people before I do my first giveaway, but I do want to do a giveaway. So join in on that. Check it out. I have a whole video that talks about it, and this is the hashtag we're using. So yeah, come join the fun. And I really want to see you guys make some of these things that I'm making too, because that's really fun. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.